Hi everyone, it's Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be continuing my top 5 series with my top inks today. And I'm going to go ahead and start out to say that I'm going to cheat just a little bit. I've got just a little bit more than just 5 inks here, and I'll explain why. I'm going to first show you my favorite black inks, and then I have 4 other either brands or types. So I'm going to start off with the black inks, and the reason why it was kind of hard for me to just narrow down, I'm considering this one set of inks, if you will. So first is my top 3 favorite black, like I have in front of me, and my first favorite is the Memento Tuxedo Black. I think this is a lot of our favorites, so simply because it's one of the only ones that's been out there for quite a long time that's been really good with Copics. So this is really compatible with Copic markers or any alcohol-based markers. And Memento ink in itself is a really great ink, I feel. So yeah, so the biggest thing we use this for, or I use this for, is my Copic coloring. But recently, within the last year or so, MFT, or My Favorite Things, has come up with a hybrid ink, and they created this black ink here along with some other colors that I don't own. I just have the one color, the black. But I got this one too, and this also works well with Copic markers or any alcohol-based markers. So I kind of switch on and off between this one and the Memento. So they really pretty much, to me, or I feel anyway, they pretty much perform the same exact way. So that's why I feel these are about the same. So that's why I kind of consider them as kind of like one thing. And then the other black ink that I absolutely love is the VersaFine Onyx Black. I've had this pad here for a couple of years, I guess, and I actually discovered this ink whenever I took a card class several years ago. This is probably about, I want to say a good maybe 3-4 years ago. I went to a card class in Branson, Missouri, and it was a weekend thing, and one of the instructors was using VersaFine black ink here, and so I really liked how it inked up, and it was really, I didn't realize that it was a pigment ink at the time, but I think over the years this ink has really grabbed the attention of crafters and stuff. And I know specifically Christina Werner has really rediscovered this ink too, and she even told me some things, or she said in her video anyway, about some things about this ink that you can use if you let it completely dry, that it's really good for watercoloring, that kind of thing. So I've never really tried that. I didn't even think about trying that, but it does say, let's see, it says perfect for using watercolors to color stamped images and white edge of ink pad. Oh, it just tells you how to redo the ink pad as far as re-inking it. So, but yeah, I really didn't realize about the watercolor aspect of it. So I'm gonna have to give that a try. So anyway, I'm counting that as one as my favorite black inks. Okay, and the next ink that I have here is a pigment ink. It's the only other pigment ink that I have here, and this is the Momenta Luxe inks. I've tried a couple of different brands of inks, like the Mama Elephant and the Avery L, and to me they're not bad inks, but to me they don't perform as well, or I guess the dry time is not as good. And I have a video on this on my channel about this, but I did an ink comparison of the pigment inks and the dry time and how long it lasts, and as far as how long it takes it to dry, and then once it does dry, if it rubs off, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that video, I will link that below in case you're wanting to look at that. But I really do love these inks, and they stamp out really beautifully. So I don't use them as much as I should, which is sad because it's such a great ink. But I do have them, and it is one of my favorites whenever I do use pigment ink. I just don't use pigment ink all that often, is why I don't use them. But whenever I do have pigment inks that I want to use for a certain project, I grab my Memento Luxe here. And then the next ink that I have is all the inks from Fawn. This is the lobster color. This is one of my favorite colors from the whole entire line. They started out with 10 inks, and I believe they started out with 10, and then they had introduced 5 more colors, which I got those. So I have all of the colors now. And this is such a beautiful red. In fact, if you've seen my very last video before this one, you will see that I used that ink in that video. And it's just a beautiful red. So, and I think it's going to be a great Christmas red as well. So, Fawn is really, really great stamp company on its own, but then they really do make great products, and of course, INKS is no different. So, if you are interested in their inks, or interested in finding out, you know, if this ink is good for you, I really do think it's a great ink for beginners as well. So I love Fawn, love anything that they put out, but you know, so no complaints there. Next ink is the Simon Says Stamp ink. I remember whenever Simon Says Stamp decided to bring out inks and I had all of, you know, well, I didn't have all of them, but I had several, and I still do, several colors of the Hero Arts inks. I said in one of my videos, I don't think it was a haul or something like that, how I don't think I was going to pick up the Simon Says Stamp inks because it's just one of those things that I really didn't need the inks that I knew that I was going to eat my words, and I should have never said that statement because I knew eventually I would cave and decide to pick a couple of colors up. But I've picked up several colors since then. But anyway, but I wanted to talk about this color in particular because this is the violet blue, or blue violet, I'm sorry. And it's such a unique color. In fact, if you don't have this color, I would like to take a moment to ink it up for you. So let me get a piece of scratch paper, and then let me get a stamp because I don't have anything out, but let me grab some. Okay, I grabbed this Argyle backdrops because I wanted to get a stamp set that had a solid image in it. So this is the first one that I saw. Okay, so I've got a piece of just scrap white cardstock here. And absolutely love this color, guys. It's such a unique color. I'm just going to stamp that on the end there. And it really is dark at first, but once it dries, you can kind of see in the light there how beautiful. It's a really, really deep purplish blue color. It's such a unique color, and I don't feel that I have seen this color in anybody else's line. It's just a great color. So I really highly recommend getting this color and adding it to your ink collection. But all of the colors that Simon Says Stamp has put out, and they've introduced several different colors since that time. All of their inks are really great, and all of the Simon Says Stamp, Fawn, Hero Arts, all of those, I believe even W+9, all of those inks have the same formulation where you stamp it down, and then once it soaks into the paper, it will even out, and it won't look as blotchy or, uneven as when you first stamped it. So, as you can see, it's evening out, and it's just a beautiful color. So I really do highly recommend that. And then the last inks that I wanted to share is just my whole set here of my Memento inks. This is basically the first, I believe it's the very first set of inks that I bought myself. I didn't buy all of them at once. I slowly progressed in buying all of them. But I started out with all of these inks here because since I do have a small space, these work really, really well for inking up. You know, they're really, really small dewdrops, and you can ink up a stamp really, really well with them. They don't take up a lot of space, and I do have a video separate on this collection here, but I got this case at Walmart in the back in the craft section, of course, and it's in the jewelry section. And so I really, really do enjoy this case to put them in, because their dividers are, you know, these dividers don't come out. They're solidly made in there. So, and you can fit all of the colors in there except for, I don't have any of the blacks or grays in here, which is totally fine. But I have all the other colors that they have introduced in here. And it's just a great, and you can just turn over if you want to see the color. I believe the color is on the back. Yeah, the color is written on the back of the ink pad. But it's such a great ink, and I don't think it gets the love that it should get, to me, in my opinion. So those are my favorite inks. Like I said, I kind of cheated just a little bit because there was a little bit more than 5. But anyway, but you get the idea. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Next up, I believe I'm going to do my favorite stamps or stamp brands. So look forward to that video here shortly. And I thank y'all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on my next video.